Hi, the Black Talk Media Project would like to invite you to become a member of the BTR Community subscription-based social media platform. BTR Community is a platform that was set up for the listening audience of Black Talk Radio Network, the #1 independent Black radio network online. For just $24 per year, your subscription gives you access to an interactive space to share information with like-minded people with your privacy guaranteed. Your subscription will go a long way to help us maintain and improve our current media platforms. It will also help provide a budget so that we can begin the task of establishing localized media centers and radio stations across the United States. The best way to show your support and appreciation for what we do here at Black Talk Radio is to subscribe. Help us to help you be informed. Join btrcommunity.com today.
The views and opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Greetings. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blacks in Business Radio. I am one of your hosts, CC Harry, and I will be joined a little later by my co-host, Brother Robert 11X. We are here today, April 5th, 2018. This is the first show of April. Can you believe it? My goodness. I mean, I say this every time. The time is just clicking on. Well, I really have to say, the last show, Tando Radio, was very good. I actually had a chance to listen to it. We always have some people on there that are very enlightened and up to speed with what is going on in our community, especially with the police killings that seem to never stop. It just makes me wonder how many of them that we don't hear about. You know, we hear about so many of them in the news, but even back in the day, of course, there were things that we didn't hear about. I think that there are so many today that we still just don't hear about because there's so many small towns and municipalities that don't make the big news. So our people are suffering, not just in this country, but I would say all over the world from police brutality. It's just not getting any better. I was listening to NPR and I had to turn the channel because they had a story questioning whether or not police brutality had gotten any better since the Mike Brown or Ferguson case. And it's like, Stevie Wonder could see that it hasn't gotten any better. I mean, it just was kind of so insulting to me. I just did not feel like listening to it. But, you know, I just appreciate the conversation that you all continue to have about the issues, you know, continue inviting people to listen to Black Talk Radio Network and support the BTR Network and Black Talk Media Project, because there's so much great programming that comes from this network. It's still like a hidden treasure. There's so many people, when I talk to people on the street as I network, they haven't heard of Black Talk Radio Network. So I know that there's a great number of people out there that could benefit from listening in some portion of their life, if not all areas of their life. This network would really be a help to them and their families. So make sure that you're sharing it. Everybody listening, whether it be live or podcast. Make sure that you're sharing blacktalkradionetwork.com and the wonderful programming that comes forth. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I was just sitting here thinking how I'm just going to like kind of segue into what you all were talking about a little bit, just a little bit. I know we're talking about business normally, but you know, it is very crazy. You know, we just keep seeing these things over and over again. And you all were talking about the young disabled man that was shot. I just heard that on the news, like right before I got in the house. So I wasn't aware of it, except for like an hour ago. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Robert. Greetings, Brother Robert. How are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm wonderful. I'm just kind of doing a little segue from what Kendall Radio was talking about, which is, you know, police brutality and killing. There was a young man in New York. I guess he was a mentally challenged person, and he got shot because the police thought that he was holding a gun, and it was a pipe. I didn't see any pictures or anything yet. But from the news reports I'm hearing from the people in the community, there's no way that they should have even thought that that was a gun. But again, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it didn't look like a gun. It's just so much has been going on. But okay, Otis says that Scotty, check out the Daily, New York Daily. It has photos. Okay, great. Thank you, Otis. We'll look at that. But I do know that I remember that police are supposed to be alerted to people in the community that have mental challenges. Like, you know, if something's going on with a certain person, they're supposed to already know, like, when they're approaching them that, you know, this is a person with challenges. That doesn't mean that they just throw down everything and not have any caution. We understand that. But at the same time, if a person has mental challenges, there's a different approach that you need to take with them. You know, and I find it very interesting. I was watching a program, I think it was like last week, and it was a shipyard. In a shipyard, a white man threatened like everybody in the shipyard. He came out of that building and he had a pipe wrapped in a blanket, and he was trying to make them think that he had some sort of shotgun. Now, it wasn't a shotgun, it was actually a pipe, but the fact that he had it covered up, and he was able to walk across that shipyard with them hollering and screaming at him, chasing him with the gun and all this other stuff. They didn't immediately shoot him. Now, they did shoot him. They did end up shooting him. But still, that man, he needed to be shot because he was trying to portray that he had a gun. And he was not putting it down or anything like that. He was trying to be aggressive toward them. Unlike these situations with the black people, they always say he ran at me, he this, he that, or what, but it's just like never true. But I see these white people, like this guy that I'm talking about, he totally came out of the door, walked all the way across the shipyard with this pipe thing and a blanket covering it, trying to make it look like a gun, and they waited till forever to shoot him. It was the craziest thing. I was just sitting there watching the TV, waiting for them to shoot him, and they did not shoot him until like their end. It was weird. Very crazy. I'm sick of it. I mean, I want to know, like, what are we supposed to do with these situations, really? I mean, have we come up with some solutions as far as, like, defragmenting from them? Because you really can. It's happening every single day. We keep hearing something. Everything. And then there was an article in Facebook talking about these images and things that we see about our people being shot and killed is a form of PTSD. Shoot, it is PTSD. I mean, how are we supposed to feel? We see our people being brutalized every single day on the news, on Facebook, everywhere on the internet, not to mention when you go out in the public, the things that you have to suffer in the public. So with all that coupled, how do we even continue going? I mean, it is just ridiculous. I mean,
let me say something on that. Minister Farrakhan, in one of his recent addresses to our people, and it was about a year ago, said that that we have become afraid as a people to actually lay our life down for the sake of our people. We've become, you see more people picking up their cell phones and recording things and putting it on, Facebook Live and this type of stuff. You see all these videos where there are 2 or 3 cops killing a person, literally, and then there's 15 to 20 black men standing around, but nobody's willing to go and do what may need to be done at the risk of their own life. And when white policemen or any people of authority see that this is the response for what they are doing to us, then it just really sends the signal to them all that this is okay for us to do. We can do it whenever we want to, because the response from them is going to be they're going to be upset, and they may just picket. They don't respect anything other than the same treatment that they are giving us. If they take a life, then one of their lives needs to be taken as well. Now, it's fair. It's eye for an eye, and that's fair, because the message that you send back, if you take one of our lives, then rest for sure we're going to take one of your lives. And in any group of people, self-respecting group of people, you have to be willing to die for something other than a set that you don't own, a hood that you don't own, or something foolish, a namesake, because some girl, anything crazy like that, or over a guy. We have to be able to come to a point and say, enough is enough. I'm willing to die. If I see the police put a sister in a headlock, at that point, you got to become a martyr. You just have to be willing to have faith in God that we say we have. All of us claim we have faith. Well, if we really have faith in God and we believe some good is going to come out of me helping this sister from this policeman putting her in the headlock, then I gotta do something. We have to get involved. We just can't sit back and let the police the neighborhood. This is a scientific agenda from Caucasian and Jews on how to manipulate the minds of black people. And they have lullabied us to sleep. So now what we're witnessing is we have become comfortable with these types of videos and this type of stuff. We complain, but we're not willing to lay our life on the line for results. And that is my opinion, and that's what needs to happen if we want to see results. It's an eye for an eye, a life for a life. And that's just what it is. It's none of that stuff about loving your enemy. It's none of that. You're either going to stand up and be a man or a woman and live on your feet or die on your knees, as Malcolm said, one or the other. And that's the only way you're going to get some respect from a beast, a devil, like this Caucasian and this Jewish man. That's the only way you're going to get it. And yes, you may die in the process, but I'd rather die as a man one time than die as a coward 1,000 times. And that's just what it is. And that's my opinion. That's all I have to say on that.
Wow.
Hello?
Yes, I'm on here. Can you hear me? Yes, you can.
Yes.
That was a lot. Well, what I would like to do is, Robert, have you had time to look up the strange businesses that I was talking about?
No, I have not. Honestly, I have not. I've been at the market.
Right.
Market all day, crazy.
Okay, so do me a favor. Go ahead and just talk about something. I'm going to mute myself because I'm actually in the middle of an important call, but I'll let you go ahead and I'll come back in just a second, okay?
So we're talking about strange businesses, right?
Yes, strange businesses is very easy. I'll be right back.
Right. Well, there's a lot of things that today with the help of technology, that we can consider out-of-the-box type of thinking. We discussed last week or the week before about actually getting your own, like Uber or Lyft, your own ride share, and you actually can do that. I mean, you really can get an app creator. We know one, the brother that owns the network that we're on. Scotty Reed. He can actually. I'm sure he can assist in that. But you can actually get your own app and create your own ride share. There's just so many things that are normal, that used to be normal, that are no longer normal. Everything has become a technology-style business or enhancement to an old idea. And so what we have to do, and what we could do, is take an old ideal and put a more technology, a spin on it with technology, and create something new and exciting, just the same way as Uber and Lyft. And I love this place, Mod Pizza. Oh, I love it. How many times have you in the past ordered pizza and, you didn't want to go too expensive, but each topping is like 80 cents or $1 or whatever. And by the time you get through ordering your pizza is, $20, $25 for a pizza. Well, my pizza came along, and evidently the founders of that company had the same idea. And so they said, well, no, we're going to charge you $8.99, I think it is, for 11-inch, 12-inch pizza with unlimited toppings, whatever you want on it. And this is the type of mindset that we have to get into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of what the topic is about tonight. CC says we will discuss some non-standard businesses that you may have thought of, but would find quite profitable and for the most part very doable. I got a couple in my mind. Do you have a weird business? Feel free to call us and talk about it. So I can't see the board and don't know if it's anybody on the board, but if you're on the board, I guess you can hit star and you can chime right in and help me out, because as I said to Cece, I just actually closed down the booth and didn't get a chance to really prepare myself for today's show. But I think for us, weird, for most black people, weird would be not having a job, and what would be weird? Weird for people who are used to working a job would be someone who would, I guess, do house cleaning. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't imagine that would be too far weird pertaining to what CC is getting at. But, the stuff that we typically just don't think of doing. Most of us, we go into, businesses like, hair and retail, simplistic stuff, but yet mentally taxing. You're dealing with the public. You're dealing with us. So I got a venture that I'm going in. It's not really weird, but it's different. There's not very many black men involved in the denture business, and that's what I'm actually getting training to become a denture maker, and we repair dentures and stuff like that. Totally outside of my realm of doing things. And, so there are things that, that are out there that definitely can be tapped into. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the time while I got the time. I'm going to take the time to actually Google weird business opportunities, WEIRD, business, SINESS, opportunities, ERT, okay, UNI, I'm having a hard, okay, there we go. You mean weird. 6 weird but successful small business ideas. Let's go there. Yeah. Let's see what they're talking about. 6 weird but successful business ideas. Let's see what they're talking about here.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I just Googled some weird business opportunities, and I wanted to, hell no, I want to share them with the people, at least a few of them, and give you a chance to talk about, But
well, wait, before you share, since I'm back, let me do like a proper intro, okay? I mean, you totally can share. I'm not trying to take that away from you at all. I want you to share.
Ahead.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I still see people not really embarking on the opportunities of entrepreneurship. I still see people that are very afraid to do anything at all. It's like you've been scared into like a statue position. People are very afraid to just try anything. And that is what had me think of this, like these just off the wall weird businesses, most of the time, people are working a job and they, don't have a lot of time. But like yesterday, I just did a consultation with somebody, I didn't charge them, but it was like for probably 40 minutes. I didn't mean to do it, but I couldn't help it. And, for some reason, when people are on the job, I've had this happen several times, they are trying to kind of defend themselves about being on the job. And it's not that I'm even throwing anything out there, but that tells me that they really, really desire to be doing something else. So this young lady, I actually, I was talking to her and I had no idea what it was that she wanted to do. She told me some of the stuff that she liked to do. And I'm like, okay, how do you put that together? I'm just listening or whatever. And I thought I was going to sum it all up by saying, okay, well, go ahead and go to a website and do like an entrepreneurial test, find out what you're good at, and I thought we were done. But she kept talking to me. And so as she talked to me, it was like Pandora's box opened up. First, I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to do with these crafts. But then she told me that she is an expert in putting trips together for people. She's done it before. She told me she traveled to Hawaii or Jamaica, one of those places, I can't remember, for only $1,200 for 2 people. And I'm like, what? How'd you do that, girl? And she's like, that's just how I am. I got it like that. And what I'm thinking is, I want to do groups. I said, okay, so let's talk about that. So we totally just kind of mapped some things out. And I told her, I said, look, you just got to start. I said, you can start right here. You're sitting here in this place of business. Don't use their computer, but bring your own laptop. You're sitting here. You're doing absolutely nothing because you're waiting for customers to come in. No customers are coming in here. I'm here, but you knew I was coming, but there's nobody in here. So you have a lot of downtime to start strategizing in how you want to do this, because she told me she wanted to have an exit plan. So as I was sitting there talking to her, I'm like, man, this is just, it's just some psychological thing that is going on where people are just really not able to think, really think about different things. So that brought me into this situation right here. I was thinking of these strange businesses, So when I looked up these strange businesses, some of these businesses I already knew about, but I thought that people might find them interesting, and they might find them so interesting that they think, okay, this is something that I could do. And another thing, I think that if you decide to kind of go low key, you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. I have a couple of things that I just decided I'm not telling everybody what I'm doing. It's not important to brag or be braggadocious about what it is that you're doing so people know that you're doing something. No, you need to think that I'm doing Uber. That's it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know that whatever is going on. That's part of the problem. Just put some stuff together and do it. Scotty says that his sister is doing a travel business. And she said one couple she knows was able to travel to 24 places in 36 months. She said it was a multi-level marketing business. Yes, there are a couple travel things like Paycation that people do. And people actually love that. I wanted to be a travel agent too, but I haven't really found the right venue to do that. I didn't want to do the multi-level marketing. But since it's kind of an unregulated business, which I love unregulated businesses. Since it's an unregulated business, you just have to have a proper plan to, put it together. And like everything else, find your niche. That's what all these things are about, finding your niche. So if you can find a crazy or weird business and find your niche in that, then, you'll just be doing great. So what we're going to do is, continue on. Robert, what weird businesses did you find?
This is one I just read, and I really can see some practicality in it. It's called hangover helpers.
Okay.
It's crazy. Hangover helpers, okay. Here's the situation. You and your friends were up all night partying. Now you're suffering from a horrendous hangover. You're dehydrated and your apartment is trash. The thought of having to make yourself something to eat and then clean up the colossal mess is just too much to handle. So what do? You call hangover helpers. These two college guys in Boulder, Colorado, helped their hungover clients crawl back into the land of the living with as little pain possible. The guys show up at your house armed with breakfast, burritos, Gatorade for you. They clean your room. They clean every room where the party happened. This includes bathroom, dishes, pots, pans, and recycling all of the beer bottles. So, this
well, wait a minute. So what is that? That's just what I just got through saying. That's a cleaning business, but they found a niche market. Hangovers.
Exactly.
They clean up vomit.
You're right. You said it. It's all of these markets, all of these services have, like I would call, accessory outlets to them. Like for instance, for the cleaning business, that hangover helper is like an accessory to the cleaning business. It's like, who would have thought to cater to people who just are hungover?
Right.
But when you think about it, on a Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever, people, I remember when I used to drink, man, and trying to get up the next day after a night of drinking, and you didn't feel like doing nothing. You were sick. You needed aspirin. You wish somebody would have came over and did something. If you had a few dollars, they probably would come over for about $50, $60, clean up, got you some Gatorade, hydrate you, put some food in your stomach. Sounds like a doable idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea, because me driving around here for Uber, like Friday and Saturday night, I know these people are, they could use a hangover helper because they are definitely drunk.
Right.
One of them got in my car and all I heard was, oh, I said, oh my gosh, my leather. But he threw up in a bag and his wife was there to console him. She just kept saying, honey, are you okay? And all I smelled was bologna. I'm like, I just hope my seats are not messed up. And he threw up in a bag, so it was good. So, that hangover helper is very needed. And you know what? You could, of course, advertise that at bars. That would be a wonderful business, Now that
right.
is, if you can stomach that, because I can imagine it'd be a really nasty job, but quite lucrative. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that actually happening. Real talk.
Yes, that would be good. That would be good. And what I like to tell people too is realize you don't necessarily have to do the work. You can be the business owner. Now you can hire people who will happily clean up vomit, or
right.
you can joint venture with some people that already have cleaning companies because they're used to nasty jobs. It's not necessarily that you have to go out there and find some newbies and like, okay, here, this is how I got to train you. No, go ahead and joint venture with some small time cleaning companies that are used to cleaning up nasty stuff. And hey, you split some of the money with them, or, you just subcontract with them. That's the way to do that thing. Yeah.
Right.
That's a business right there. Hangover helpers.
Yeah, that just makes good sense. I mean, yuck. I mean, I can imagine. Boy. Yeah, the mess that you're gonna clean up, but shoot. I mean, it just makes sense. Those niche businesses, as you said, finding your niche. And I mean, it just really. They got one in here. I don't get it at all. Uh,
Okay.
Rent a chicken.
I saw that one. What is it?
It says, I know what you're asking. Why on earth would someone want to rent a chicken? Well, some people who are interested in urban farming want to get chickens. However, that's a big step. What if they don't like caring for chickens? What if they don't like caring for chickens? Then they're stuck with a coop and several chickens they don't want. This is where Rent a Chicken comes in. This husband and wife team in Traverse City, I think it's Milwaukee or Michigan one, will bring you everything you need to care for a broad of hens for the summer for $250. Okay.
Wow.
Right. I just can't imagine me wanting to. That's a niche market for sure.
Right. Somebody needs it, but you just can't see it. It's like, okay, well, who needs that?
Right. I'm not that big. Me with some chickens, my plan is if I'm gonna raise them, they're gonna get ate. Plain and simple. Yeah, they're gonna get their heads cut off and feathers plucked, and eventually gonna be on a plate.
Well, yeah, because you said you know how to kill the chicken, so.
Oh yeah. We've done that several times, But yeah. So that was. I mean, but somebody out there. I guess it just wouldn't be me on that one. Then they got another one called the Smashing Place, and let me see if I can turn this another way. Yeah, there we go. I can read it better. If you ever had a pet while living in an apartment, then you know how painful it can be to take them out for potty when it's 10 degrees with a fierce wind. Or maybe you work long hours and always have to rush home to let them out. Or maybe you're a senior citizen and it's hard to make multiple trips in and out of your home. Well, all of these reasons are why the pet loo, LOO, the pet loo, was invented. The pet loo is a square of fake grass which sits atop a simple waste containment system that you put inside your home or apartment. That sounds like a business one of our radio guests, something that he did. Okay. You remember we had a guy on the radio that he made some type of device.
You talking about Sugar?
Right.
Sugar. What's the last name? Not Sugar Jackson. That's too crazy. Sugar McMillan.
Yeah, that sounds like something that he came up with. But let me read on. Okay, and let's see, or sit inside your home or apartment. It's just like a mini backyard where your dog can relieve himself, although the pet loo is based in Australia. Similar businesses have sprung up here in the States. Good idea, no doubt. In fact, people are putting their pet loos in their laundry rooms, their basements, on balconies, and even in the grass, in a grassless backyard. Okay.
Well, now that you're talking about that, I actually called a company. There's a company in Federal Way, Washington called Les Scoops, LESSCOOPS. And at the time I was doing childcare, and I just always used to look at this woman driving around in her car. She had a company scooping the poop out of your yard. Like if, dog poop, you let your dog out and go poop in the yard. She comes to your yard on a regular basis and scoops the poop. I thought, oh my God, I just couldn't do that. But she found her niche market. Again, what is that? That's cleaning. That's what people need. So I wasn't able to find her. I couldn't do too much research while I was driving, but I did find a franchise, and the closest one to St. Louis is in Chicago, and it is called Pet Butler. Pet Butler provides dog poop scooping services and pet waste removal to homes and multifamily communities. Since 1988, Pet Butler has been number one in the number two business. You get it? It's been number one.
Right.
Providing the best in pooper scooper services and sanitation with professional service to thousands of clients across North America. So it says, need some help, click to call us, and the phone number is 1-800-PET-BUTLER. And then it's got, like, of course, the website. We're going to put all these things in the website. It's got how the Pet Butler works. Call and schedule your weekly service. Now, that's a good business right there. Because I know I get tired of going and seeing dog poop everywhere. Let's see. We pick up your pet's waste. We haul the poop away. Enjoy your beautiful, clean yard. Let's see. Pet Butler is dedicated to professional pet waste cleanup and removal. Uniformed Pet Butler technicians. They got uniform. They're not coming over looking crazy. They got on uniforms. And they will come and tidy up just about anything from residential yards to apartments or HOAs. And they do so with world-class service. Pet Butler will not only make life more convenient and enjoyable, but safe for the entire family, especially the four-legged family members. Your yard will be meticulously cleaned on a regular schedule. And then they allow you to get a free quote. And there's a cute little cartoon down there with a crazy-looking boy. And then it's got all of their services and information. They do yard odor eliminator and disinfectant, commercial scooping services, flea and tick spray, cat litter, box swap. Okay, so that must mean they come take the whole cat litter box away. Deck and patio spray, they do dog potty training. And then, let's see, goose waste removal. So what they have done is actually started out with the dog pooping thing, but then found some other niche things inside the niche. So that's wonderful. That's good. I'm gonna have to share that one. But yeah, that's a pet poop cleanup. What other ones did you find?
Hold on 1 minute. I just clicked off the page. Oh my God.
Oh, it's okay. You got time. Let me see here.
Okay. Now, this one says, I do, now I don't. I don't know what the heck that's about.
I saw that one.
You saw that?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about, but yeah, I seen that. Is it like a man on his knees or something like that?
Hold on. Where did it go to? Now it's not here. Turned the phone sideways and it just disappeared. What's that? Oh, there you go. Okay. It says when Josh Opperman's fiance left him after 3 months, after a 3-month engagement, he was crushed. Oh, I feel for the poor guy. All she left him was the fancy engagement ring he worked so hard to save up for. However, when he took the ring back to the jeweler to return it, he got a nasty shock. They only offered him $3,500 for the ring he paid over $10,000 for. Yikes!
Oh my gosh, that would make me kill the person behind the counter.
Oh, no doubt. They would have to call police that day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be when I didn't know anything about wholesale and retail at that, then. But now I know why that is. Why that is the way it is. It's just like buying a new car.
Right.
Take it off the lot, try to take it back.
Yeah, you can't do that.
A lot of money. No.
You can't do that.
So he started a business called I Do. Now I, hell no. I do, now I don't. I got this. Let's see what this is about. To get even. I Do, now I don't is a website that allows people to sell their engagement rings or any other fancy jewelry to other users for way less than going to the jewelry store. Think of it as a Craigslist for fine jewelry. The site has been an incredible success and has been featured on CNN, the Today Show, Fox News, and the New York Times. I'm gonna have to check that site out.
Wow, that's one of them circumstances that created a business. That's great.
Yeah, man, you spend $3,500 on some rings, and all of a sudden it's a I don't anymore.
Wait, didn't he say he spent more than that? And they said
he spent $10,000, right? $10,000. That's a whole lot to be said about that. But if you spend $10,000 on some rings, and now it's a I don't. Oh man, that's a major setback to say the least.
Excuse the sirens. Today is Cardinals opening day, so you might hear a few sirens in the background. I cannot help it. I am downtown, and it's just the way it's gonna be today. But I am, that is, I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. But okay, so let's see here. We won't talk about that celebration because I think it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so what's here that I found interesting, because I actually wanted to do this myself, which I don't know if I could stomach it. But again, it would be one of those things I would have to hire people, but it would be a good business to have, especially here in St. Louis. What is this, the murder capital? This is Murder Scene Mop-Up, okay?
Yeah.
So this is entrepreneur Jerry Turner. He's 38. His business is Advanced Biotreatment, and it's based in Atlanta. And it says off the wall factor. The simple fact is Turner's company is a cleaning company. There he is. That's it. It's a cleaning company, right? But he found his niche. His niche market is murders and stuff. Okay, so it says the twist is what they clean up. Cleaning up after murders and suicides is one of their specialties, but they also handle meth labs and fecal matter and urine. Not so off the wall revenue. By next summer, Turner expects to bring in what? $1 million in sales. And this is from Entrepreneur Magazine. I mean, that's just like kind of a no-brainer. You know, I checked into this, and of course, there's some things that you have to do. You have to get like some sort of clearances and all that, but it's not hard to do, you know? That's another thing. We procrastinate on doing these things. When people tell us, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, they were like, oh my gosh, okay, and we just melt and we don't do it. But go ahead and get that thing done. Who was I talking to the other day? And they talking about, oh, that was Queen Thais. She was talking about, you know, we'll have this thing that we're supposed to do, and it'll be sitting there waiting to be done by us. But then if it doesn't get done, then it'll get done by somebody else. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to be doing that. So, I mean, if you have this thing on your heart, what you have to do is go ahead and get it done. Find out what it is. Even if you have to eat that elephant one bite at a time, like if you have to go get some certifications or whatever, just go ahead and start, you know? And then when we hear money, dollar signs, like I was just on the phone with this lady. She told me $4,000 to take her course. I was like, oh my gosh. But if it's something that you need to progress forward, you need to eat that elephant one bite at a time. Don't run from that dollar sign, because that could be your destiny. Stop doing that. I mean, you know, these things come with a price, you know, and later on you'll be able to say, hey, you know what? I defeated that fear. I paid that money, and I got into the next area of financial freedom, you know. I think we get so comfortable in the redundant, you know, we just get comfortable in either being poor or just enough and all these other things. It just has become too comfortable. Me personally, I'm sick of it. So we've got to do some things to propel us into the next dimension of financial freedom. So like I said, with this murder scene mop-up situation, that's a good business to have. And
Yeah,
I sure would. I sure would. Like I said before in the other business, the vomit business or whatever, the hangover thing, I would hire some people who are already cleaners. I wouldn't go out and look for all these people who are just newbies and they used to work at Burger King and they looking for something to do. No, I would find companies that are already cleaners and I would subcontract with them. That's how I would handle that, because then you're dealing with people who are already in that area of business, which is cleaning. It's just a different type of cleaning. So that's that thing. And that man is making $1 million. No, that's wonderful. Okay, so here's another one talking about the doggy cleanup. We already talked about that. Okay, so here's a black lady on here. It says, this business owner's no dummy. Okay, so it's a black lady, and she's surrounded by what? Body parts. When I say body parts, I'm just talking about mannequins. So her name is Judy Henderson Townsend. She's 48. Her business is Mannequin Madness, based in San Francisco. And the off-the-wall factor is Henderson Townsend's company rents and sells mannequin body parts. She even named her business Mannequin Madness because she knew she was either mad for doing this or I'd found a really crazy niche in a unique market. The not so off-the-wall revenue, $175,000 by the end of 2006. So I wonder where she is today. I'm gonna have to contact her and see if she's still doing Mannequin Madness. But yeah, there's that one, and she's sitting around all these mannequin body parts. And you would never think of that. I mean, first of all, mannequins are not cheap. I don't care. They are not cheap. So to be able to gather these body parts and use remnants of mannequins, I mean, that's definitely a niche market. Okay, let's see here. Then you have this, well, that's not really neat. Okay, let's see what's this. This one is From Ashes to Fishes. Entrepreneurs George Frankel and Don Browley, 56 and 42 respectively, business Eternal Reefs based in Decatur, Georgia. Off the wall factor, Eternal Reefs mixes the ashes of cremated people into cement to form reef balls, which they then lower into the ocean to help create habitats for marine life. The not so off the wall revenue, now that's something I never would have thought of because I'm not into marine life, but sales are projected to hit more than $500,000 by the end of the year. Wow. I mean, what made them think of that? I have no clue. That is so crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Robert, did you have any more over there on your side?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got a comment. Shoot. Okay, let's see. With all these people overdosing on heroin, business would be good in certain areas. Yep, that is so right, Scotty, because folks is dying left and right off the heroin. Heron. How y'all say that? Heron, not heroin.
Right.
Heron. Okay.
Right.
Did you find anything else?
Well, this is saying. Wait a minute. I'm not.
Well, you keep looking because I got something here. But yeah, there's one called City Kitty, and it's based out of New York. And a girl named Rebecca Rescate created it, and it's she developed a gadget that actually teaches a cat to do its business on the toilet. Now that is a good business because cats are nasty. Then after a few weeks, the gadget can be thrown away and the pet kitty can relieve themselves on the regular toilet. To put it bluntly, she sells toilet training kits for cats. The not so off the wall revenue, her business generated sales of $150,000 in 2005. She's projecting her company will bring in $275,000 in 2006. So this is like old news, but that's new money. That's wonderful. I mean, it just takes a little brain power. Let me know when you've come up with another one.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's the one about the chickens again. Let me see. Let's see. Entrepreneur Georgette Blau, 31. Let's see. On Location Tours, Inc., based in New York City. Off the Wall Factor. Long, a Hollywood staple in the New York City TV junkie, arranges bus tours of Big Apple TV, landmarks like Bada Bing Strip Club from The Sopranos, and the apartment where Carrie Bradshaw hung her hat in Sex and the City. The Not So Off the Wall Factor. Blau estimates 2006 sales will hit 1.5 million. Now, you know, that thing right there that she's doing, that's an offspring of just, you know, cab companies, Uber, tourism, that type of thing. Showing people around the town. What do you call that? Tourism? Is it tourism?
Yeah, tourism.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just local stuff. You know, it's very simple, local stuff. So what she did was came up with a niche market in driving people around. And at that time, she was making, or due to make $1.5 million. I mean, that's wonderful, because when people come to your town, they, of course, want to go to, you know, the landmarks. Like here, it's the Arch. But me, I mean, I have to tell people, oh, I don't know, I just moved here from Seattle. I don't know nothing, you know. I mean, I tell people that a lot, but some things I do know, and so I'm able to tell them. Of course, it's better if when they're from out of town, you can at least tell them a few good places to eat, you know, or what you found interesting, like when you went to a certain area or whatever. You know, you have to be able to at least give good conversation. But, you know, people love to see, you know, big landmarks in the city, but also they love to see like little intimate details that you would never even know. You know, so that's a very good niche market right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. From slab to the lab. Entrepreneur Jim Rogers, 38, business science care based in Phoenix, Off the Wall Factor. This is the country's first and apparently only accredited whole body donation company. Oh my gosh. As in this is where you could go if you want to give your body to science. No, I don't want to give my body to science. Not so off the wall revenue. Science care won't disclose revenue. Of course not. Of course they won't, because we know they doing organ stealing and all kind of stuff. Yeah, we of course they won't. But wants to stress that they don't buy bodies. They're all donated. See, when you hear that language, you know something fishy is going on. I'm sorry.
Right.
And they don't sell them either. They make money from university medical centers. Oh, yeah. The like that pay for the services of science care's pathologists and the cost of storing and shipping body parts. Woo! There's the wickedness right there. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. All right. So that was from Entrepreneur Magazine. I thought that was really good how they put that together. And then I also was able to, let's see, hopefully we get to some news, because I found some news that was, what is that? I found some news.
I got a crazy one here. Here's a crazy one.
Okay.
Maker of wearable human remains.
I think I saw something like that, but is that like real?
Let me read it. Why leave the remains of a loved one in
oh, okay. No.
in a gathering dust when you could wear them around your neck instead?
Oh my God.
Studio, an art glass studio in Land O'Lakes, Florida, creates custom keepsakes using the ashes of beloved family members and pets. Michelle Palenik, what is it? Palenik.
Okay, some kind of name.
Palenik, yeah. The artist behind the unique business asked clients to ship her half a teaspoon of remains, which then she seals in a glass pendant bowls and then paperweights. Wow! So she makes jewelry out of people's remains, you know, which is I mean, I guess there's a market for it.
Well,
wow.
there's a market for all things weird and mysterious. That's what I do know. I mean, shoot. I mean, these people do all kind of interesting things.
But,
Yeah.
but when you think about that, I mean, give that some thought. I just thought about something. My grandmother was cremated, and they put them into those and you set those in your
Urns?
urns, thank you, in your house, and I mean, you don't do much with it. And some people, loved ones are very near and dear to them. So I guess that would be ideal for those people who really feel that void and really feel like she's with me all the time or he's with me all the time. I'm wearing them around my neck, you know.
Oh my God.
Right.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just one of those things. We could think it's weird all we want, but yeah. Uh-oh, scam. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean, people do, they wear their loved ones' ashes around their neck. I mean, I never felt the need to do that. But again, that's just me. That just seems very creepy to me.
Right.
Yeah, that
But
just seems very creepy. But people do it. People love it, and people are
yeah.
into all kind of weird rituals on top of that. So yes, there is definitely a market for that. What I have on our flyer for the show today was actually meat cards. So I don't know if you saw that, but there's a website called meatcards.com. So they create your business card on a piece of meat. Now, why one would need that, I'm just not sure. But they have a whole thing here, meat cards. Like it's done with a laser printer. They got pictures of it and everything.
On your business card on a piece of meat.
Yeah, on a piece of meat. They also do like impressions of people on the meat. They do all kind of stuff on meat. I mean, it's very weird. That's
I
why I
wonder
put that on the front.
how many calls they done got from the animal activists.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, it says like this one, meat cards, print your business cards on beef jerky. I mean, I guess that would be very interesting. I mean, if you're interested in selling beef jerky and you could put your business information on the beef jerky, that's not too weird. But I mean, it is just like who would think of that? You just really don't know who would think of that. But yeah, the meat card. Okay.
Maybe for the big companies that actually manufacture beef jerky, it probably would be a great marketing. I mean, it's not like it's going to last long. Once you start eating it, it's gone.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely true. Let me see. Well, we're almost at the top of the hour here. I said we're going to go for 1 hour, but I mean, I think let me see. There is like so many weird businesses. Like we still need to talk about that. So we'll keep going, but we'll definitely go to our commercial break in 2 minutes. Something else, like I was talking to you about the homemade solution to do the windshields. Like if you get a ding in your windshield, you know how you go to the little tent in the mall, they got somebody in a little tent and they'll fix your ding for you for $40 or whatever.
Right.
You can actually go on YouTube and you can like make this solution. It's very simple. Make this solution and you can fix your own dings. Well, I got this from Empowerment Radio Network some years ago. I remember David talking about it, but because he has this thing about like how to make money really quick or whatever. He's got a whole DVD. And I remember that's one of the things he talked about. And it's on YouTube. You can make this solution and you can go around and offer to fix people's dings. Like for instance, at the flea market, like there's a million cars there. So what if you created some flyers and you stuck it in the windows of people. Like if you saw dings in their windshield, you could totally stick a flyer in their window and say, "We'll fix your ding at booth 49." And people could come right over to you, or you could go right over to their car. While they're shopping, they could have their ding fixed, and then shoot, there you go. They didn't have to go use their insurance, because some people use their insurance to fix those dings. But yeah, they just paid little to nothing to have that ding fixed, and you made a little bit of money. So that's another weird business that I thought about. But what we have to do now is go to break. This is Blacks in Business Radio. You're listening to us on Black Talk Radio Network. We're here every Thursday. We'll be back after these messages.
Tuned in to the Black Talk Radio Network. For podcasts and live program scheduling, visit us on the web at blacktalkradionetwork.com.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us again for the second hour. This is Blacks in Business Radio, and I am Cece Harry, joined with my co-host, Brother Robert 11X, and we are talking about weird businesses. And again, weird businesses are just what we said, weird businesses, things that you wouldn't normally think about. But if you really think about them, they are like the base of another business. You just have developed your niche in a certain area. So there is so many of them. I mean, you wouldn't even think of these things. Like, I mean, I think, okay, who deals with that? There's certain things that I think, well, who deals with that? But like, there's a thing in Seattle, Washington, I should say, because I tell you, Robert, all the time, like when we go to the store and buy blackberries, I'm like, you don't need to buy these in Washington, because they have blackberries everywhere. Like if you want to go pick them, you can pick them. You don't really have to buy them at the store. So it's just amazing to me to have to buy blackberries. So they have so many blackberry bushes, like even along the freeways, that they have companies that have goats. They put these goats over there, like on the side of the freeways, to eat the blackberry bushes. I mean, it is the craziest thing. Like you go down the freeway and you see like all these goats out there, and it's like, oh, the goats are eating the blackberries. But that is a business. People actually have like farms of goats that they have just to eat those blackberries.
What? And we paying for them?
Yes, you're paying for them. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, it's so.
Foods, they're not cheap either, yeah.
No. They definitely.
They're not cheap.
No, they are not cheap at all. It's the craziest thing. Like I said, you drive down the freeway and you see all these little goats out there just chomping away. They're not just eating the berries; they're eating the whole bushes, and the bushes have thorns on them. So I don't know what their mouth is made of. I don't know. I'm serious, because those things are like roses. They have thorns. So it's just the craziest thing. But they are they're out there eating them. It's really crazy. Let me see. I'm trying to. Then there was another one. Oh, go ahead.
Here's one. This guy, he used to be a funeral director from Virginia. He founded a company called Sympathy Food Delivery Service. Stokes, his name is Storks. David Storks is his name. Storks Company delivers family-style meals to grievers all over the United States. These are for people who have recently lost loved ones, and so instead of giving them flowers, he said flowers are, although they're pretty, they are ultimately useless for mourners. So what he decided to do was create sympathy meals, and he delivers them all over the United States. So if you want to send a little comfort food to someone far away, There is no need to cook and ship your famous lasagna, whether it is a full pot roast or some vegetable stir fry. Simply Food delivers all the goodness of a home cooked meal without any of the home cooking.
Well, shoot. Well, some people need that on a regular basis. Forget the grieving person. I mean, they got businesses like that now, food service delivery,
Right.
Here come the sirens. But we know, again, that is just a niche market off of food service, food delivery, food preparation. Somebody has found an area where people really need it, grieving people. Like, usually I guess like when somebody passes away, the church people or whoever, they bring you some food. But these people have made a business out of it. That's cool.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I found one, and it's kind of weird. No, it's not kind of weird. It's weird. And I actually seen it on Craigslist. There is a thing where people are buying used, worn undergarments, like panties and underwear. I don't know what they're doing with them, but there are people with some kind of strange fetish for undergarments, and they're buying, and this is a big market. This is a big market where people buy used undergarments. It is the weirdest thing. And that made me say, okay, how many strange things am I going to run into? Here's one. Let's see. It is, what is this one called? This is some people create plastic wishbones on Thanksgiving, and they've made $4 million in sales creating these plastic wishbones so everybody can have one. Because, when you eat the turkey, there's one wishbone. So they created wishbones that you can buy, and everybody can have one. That's crazy. Then here's another company. They provide fake doctor's notes and jury summons notes so employees can take the day off. The site gets 15,000 hits, and the cost is $25 per summons. Let's see here. Oh, they got some businesses in here. Then there's one called milliondollarhomepage.com. I don't know what that looks like fake money. Okay, here's one called Santa Mail, company that sends personalized letters to children from the North Pole. Oh my gosh. Over 315,000 have been sent since 2002 and a fee of $9.95. Here's one, reserve a spot in heaven for $13.79. You can reserve a place in heaven and refunds for those that don't make it. The site has gone from 80 visitors a month to something else. That's crazy. Oh my God. Doggles. They got some goggles for dogs. Brings in around $3 million in annual sales. Let's see. Pet rock. They still doing the pet rock. Rocks that could be kept as pets, complete the care manual and food. In the first 6 months on sale, they made an estimated profit of $15 million for pet rocks. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that story.
What, the pet rocks?
Yeah, I mean, marketing was the biggest thing with that.
Yeah, I can't remember how that went. Pet rocks, I can't get down with that. Why would you need a pet rock? I just don't know. Yeah, there are, huh?
Go ahead. You said there are what?
No, I'm just saying there are so many weird businesses.
Right. Well, here's one that I just ran across. I was like, wow, I would have never thought that you would need to hire anybody to mourn for you. So it's called Rent a Mourner. I'm almost wanting to believe that this is just not real. Rent a Mourner is a United Kingdom-based company that allows you to hire professional mourners to attend funerals and wakes. The company works with family members of a lost one to create a strategy of how the hired mourners should dress and act at the funeral.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I mean, I'm just outdone with this one. While it's very bizarre that you would want to complete that you would want complete strangers at a loved one's funeral, rent a mourner promises to keep their cover under wraps. Okay.
That is weird. That is very, very weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but that's just the thing. But, we want to make sure that people who are listening, you can definitely press ** if you want to chime in. We thank you for joining us today. And for those of you that are listening to us right now, if you are listening to us via podcast, I should say, if you're listening to this later on, feel free to join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Our phone number to call in is 704-802-5056. And as usual, like we always say, we're on blacktalkradionetwork.com. Feel free to listen to the great programming that comes across the airwaves every single day. You know what? Oh, I'll get back to that in a second. Yes, across the airwaves every single day. I mean, definitely support Black Talk Media Project, BTR Network. Just support. Share with a friend. Share the information so everybody knows that Black Talk Radio Network exists. It is here, a station for the people, by the people. Scott said, what about sperm banks for animals, especially dogs of certain breeds that are popular? I have never heard of that, but I guess that is. I was actually thinking of regular, he said he found an article, show-winning dog semen is a bargain at $2,000. Wow. I can imagine because people love those show dogs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Show dog. What about cats too? I think they like cats like that too.
They got some expensive cats out there.
They do got some expensive animals. I mean, and people pay top dollar for that stuff. But people, we know people do that too. The sperm bank stuff and carrying babies and all that stuff. I don't know how that works. I mean, I don't know how you could actually carry a baby for 10 months and then give it to somebody else. That just seems a little weird.
That does seem weird.
But I mean, they do it all the time. People carry children for celebrities, so the woman doesn't lose her body or whatever. But yeah, that's big business, because we know people breed pit bulls and all these other dogs all the time, and they make a pretty penny off of that. Have you ever done that?
I've never bred anything to sell, even though we had, at one point in time, I had a Rottweiler, a German Rottweiler, and a pit bull brindle, and one was a boy, one was a girl. The Rottweiler was a boy, the brindle was a girl, and they mated. And these puppies, everybody in the neighborhood that knew I had these puppies were like, I got to get one of these puppies. And I just wasn't into the selling the dogs and everything. We even had a woman come in the yard with the big mother and father in the yard. She came in the yard and had two puppies that she had was trying to take, and we just happened to pull up on her, and got the puppies back. But the next day, I called the Humane Society and told them come get all the damn dogs because there's no way possible these big dogs that should let this woman in. So no, but no, I just personally, it's a big business breeding dogs, and that was a great idea when I heard what you just read. That was a great idea. A sperm bank to have specific type of dogs that you can actually, make, however they do it, with another dog or whatever. Same way they would with a human. I'm taking it.
Let's see. It says, I think he has an article here, GastonGazette.com, E-News 2017. Oh, this is about the deer thing. He was talking about the deer. Scotty was talking about the deer. Another weird business that does not have much competition around his area, which he lives in North Carolina, Gastonia, North Carolina. Like he lives deep in the woods, kind of. Let's see. It is deer processing, and they process other animals that hunters bring in. And he read an article talking about in Pennsylvania, the deers have them processed into steaks and sausages and stuff. and the place is right down the road from him. Yeah, that is good business. I mean, if you know how to do the meat and all that, like you were talking about before, like killing the chickens and all that stuff. I mean, just all that stuff is related. Again, that's a niche market. I mean,
Hey, CC and
yes.
Robert. Yeah, what I was saying was in that article when I read, because this is like right around the corner from me, and I didn't even know. Well, I always seen the signs, but I was like, I never put two and two together. Deer processing, what the heck is that? It's called the Deer Shack, right? And so the article was saying that hunters from as far away as Pennsylvania bring their animals here. They have done bears. But their main thing is deers and whatnot. And, he was like, man, we had to hire more people, or we might have to expand because, it's just so many people bringing in their deers to have them turned into sausage and stuff.
Wow. Okay. So that sounds like a wonderful niche market. I mean, if you're interested in doing that kind of thing, which, people don't eat. So, I mean, why not learn how to do that? That just makes total sense. But I was saying that, that's something very popular in Alaska because, they do all that hunting and fishing and all that good old stuff that I'm not into. But yeah, I mean, I definitely know about that processing. Go ahead, Robert. What were you saying?
A lot of black men and women have totally been taken out of the farming, the agriculture, and the butchering aspect of life. And you think about how much time we, as a people, the field Negroes, spent in the field, butchering, slaughtering animals, cutting animals up, and now that market belongs to some of the biggest white-owned companies, and it's just so few black people that's doing it. Now, I got my buddy in Las Vegas. He taught a brother in Las Vegas. He did me the same way here in St. Louis. Took me to a farm, but he met a guy in Las Vegas. The guy was unemployed, but he had butchering experience. He worked for a butcher shop. He never thought about doing it for himself. He wound up taking them to the farm. They did a cow. The first animal this guy did was a cow. I've never done a cow. I've done a lamb. He did a cow, actually slaughtered it, butchered it, and then, they processed the meat and everything, cut the meat down, the whole 9 yards, had it cut up its form. And he started a business. He's still doing it today. This is over 10 years ago, and he's still doing it today. And recently, he told me that a lot of the guys in Vegas, black, in that circle that he's in, won't even buy the meat from the guy. I mean, we have a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, people. We're trying to get you guys to see the possibilities in entrepreneurship. There are so many areas of entrepreneurship that is so untapped, and you have to at least explore the ideal of finding something that is within yourself to do.
So obviously I don't have any canned statements or anything to say other than...
They have to because things are happening. Things are happening in this world. I mean, I haven't watched a whole lot of news, but I mean, just the climate is really changing. Things are happening. Things are dwindling down. You see all the stores closing. You see signs of the time. You see prophecy. You hear people talking about gardening and making, just doing things for yourself, but some people are just not taking it to heart and not thinking that they need to do anything. They're just kind of going along to get along. As long as I get my paycheck or whatever. Yes, your paycheck is important, but what is it that you're doing outside yourself to prepare? Now Tando Radios, that's when they talk about all those different things, but all of our shows kind of work in conjunction with each other because We're talking to you about making things for yourself as far as like a business, doing something for yourself, because it's very important, because not only could you not have that job tomorrow, but I mean, what skills are you exercising? You know, you need to really be exercise. Like I have a friend, I thought about her the other day. She told me that she has been working that same job since 1996. I can't think of anything that I've been doing since 1996 except for having my children. That's it. I mean, anything else consistent like that. I can't imagine working a job since 1996 and not really being able to exercise my brain in any other kind of way. And she has not been able to. And right now, right now, she is really suffering the consequences of not just because she worked the job since 1996, but because she hasn't decided to learn some other skills or tap into her genius of entrepreneurship. So you don't want to be like that. It's just totally unnecessary. We have got to continue to try to inspire you into the way of being an entrepreneur. And you can email us at weareblacksinbusiness@gmail.com. You can talk to Brother Robert, or you can talk to me. We both can respond to you. If you want consultation, you need some help on something that you want to put together, we can definitely help you. You can also join our Facebook group. You can join him at Brother Robert 11X on Facebook. You can join me, CC Harry, on Facebook. Let's see. Where else can you join? Oh, Blacks in Business Radio, whatever it is that we're talking about, and the show itself, we put that link there. So, we want to be a resource for you. We don't want you to feel like you can't do something, because you can do something. You have a mind, God bless you with a mind. So there's definitely something that you can do. But what we do is we tend to look at what everybody else is doing and immediately feel like it's some sort of competition. There is no competition, because you are an original. And although there's no reason to recreate the wheel, you could definitely modify that wheel and put some rims on it or something like that. You can do all kinds of things. You can do whatever it is that you need to do to make something happen for yourself. And we want to encourage you in doing that. And like I said before, you don't have to announce to the world what you are doing. You don't have to do that. There's matter of fact, you shouldn't be doing that at this point in time. You can do some things for yourself without it being, a big old thing. I mean, yes, we do have to advertise and market at times, but I'm saying, just kind of tread lightly on these things. If you're doing something, on the down low that can make you some money, then go ahead and just keep doing it. And speaking about the gardening and learning to grow food for yourself, that's something we really need to talk about. I want to get the Black farmers on the show one day. There's a Black Farmers Convention apparently that happens every year, but we missed it. It was, what was that Black Farmers Convention? Where are we at? We are in April. I think it was in March. I don't remember, but yeah, somebody told me about that Black Farmers thing. But think about it. If you have a yard or you have a space or whatever, and you start growing food, what if you could sell the vegetables that you grow? You could do that just in your neighborhood. Or what if you just made a community garden? I mean, there's so many things that you could be doing that can totally be profitable. We definitely need to keep tapping into these things. Totally have to.
I got one for you, CC. There's a Black Farmers Convention coming up, and it's called that was in 2017. It's the 27. It was in 2017 Black Farmers and Urban Gardeners National Conference.
Was that in August?
This was in. Why is it not showing me?
Was it in Atlanta? No, North Carolina or Tennessee, Kentucky, one of those. I can't remember.
Yeah, but this is Eventbrite. So let me go out of that because it's not. Yeah, that's Eventbrite. National Black Farmers Association. There, you can. The point being, you can Google it. You can Google these things that we're talking about as well. But there is, if you just type in National Black Farmers Association, for anybody that's into the agriculture area of entrepreneurship, and you need to go there. They even have a Facebook page. It's called the National Black Farmers Association on Facebook. I mean, you really need to be involved in this. And here's another one, Black Farmers and Agriculturalists Association. They have a Facebook page. You know, like you were saying, CC, between me and you both, we have, I know my daughter just called me the other day and told me, your oldest daughter is 25 years old. And when she told me that, I was like, well, then that's how many years I have not had a job. Because none of my children, I've never worked a job with any of my children being alive. You know what I'm saying? By the time they were born, I was not on a job. So she just turned 25. That means I got 25 years in. You have how many years in yourself?
Woo! Let's see. I started when I was 13, but I mean, like, the awareness of really doing something, I would say when I moved to Seattle, that was in 1998.
So that's an easy 20 years.
Yep.
Easy 20 years. So between the both of us, you got over 45 years of, you know, trial and error. And what I would say to anybody listening is capitalize on the mistakes that we've made. Find out more about the mistakes that we've made in business. And you're talking to people that didn't get any formal business education, but yet I personally have not been. Haven't filled out a job application in that length of time. I have not suffered for or wanted for anything. You know what I'm saying? And to go into business without any education of it, and 25 years later, I'm still in it, and I'm doing pretty. I'm all right. Right now, I'm not. I mean, there's a whole lot more I could be doing. Don't get it twisted. I mean, there's a lot more money out there than what I have. But to be a black man in America or a black woman in America, and you don't have to go to work for anybody else, and you have the faith. See, that faith of a mustard seed is really for when you have that faith of a mustard seed, it's like having the faith of the whole planet Earth or the whole galaxy. You have that kind of enormous faith in yourself, in your ability to be able to provide for yourself. So now when you go out your house and you see a stray dog that don't look like he's starving, or a cat or a bird or any of those creatures that God made that is supposed to be degrees below the man and woman that he made in his image and likeness, now I see myself a little different. And that's what is gratifying when it comes to entrepreneurship. The money is going to come. You keep on practicing thinking. It's a practice. Thinking is not something you just automatically do naturally. You have to practice at thinking, and you definitely have to be into some kind of study to keep you thinking. But once you keep practicing and once you keep doing it, then it becomes habit. And then ideas will start popping in your head. And then, you know, by you executing the ideas, you building your faith as well. See, having faith is a practice. You know, you build your faith, that muscle of faith by being able to go out and accomplish what you had in your mind as a vision, and then you made it happen. That strengthens your faith. And after a while, your faith is just like natural breathing. You can just think of it and say, I know I can do it. It doesn't even challenge you to do anything anymore. At this stage of the game for myself, it's not even a challenge to do whatever it is I say I want to do. It's just making myself get up and doing it. That's all it is. So entrepreneurship again, if you go in it just for the money, that's a great incentive. But I'm telling you, what I found out about entrepreneurship is more spiritual than what it is financial. And it definitely develops your spiritual character. If you come in it already as a God-fearing person, this is going to develop and strengthen your spiritual character like nothing else you've ever done before. What do you think about that, CC?
Well, you were talking about, if the birds are taken care of. There's actually a scripture from that saying, and that's, I'm going to read the Bible, y'all. Don't be afraid, okay? So Matthew 6:23 through 34. It says, "Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Which of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to its stature? So why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, and yet I say to you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Now, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For after all these things the Gentiles seek." Y'all know who the Gentiles are? Okay, if you don't, it's white people. "For your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself and worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." So I just wanted to read that because that was basically what you were talking about, the birds being taken care of and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that, I love the fact that these shows are going out, and I got to tell Scotty, thank you again. These shows are going out over the internet because just like randomly people, will be like, "Oh, I heard the show and this and that and whatever," and it inspired me to whatever. Like the young lady I was talking to yesterday, and like I said, I had consulted with her for about 40 minutes. I was able to send her off with a show that we had done. And she immediately today gave me feedback and told me, I listened to that show, but it's like the guest, he was talking as if I was already in the business, and I felt like I needed more of a breakdown. See, that kind of feedback is important because we're dealing with what somebody might call babes in the industry, people who don't know. So with that being said, I was able to tell her, okay, well, if you need more help, here's the information. And so she could contact that brother directly, and he could definitely help her with what it is that she was trying to do. So, I just really like the fact that the information is going out. We don't have a zillion listeners like every week, but I think that that's okay. I don't even worry about that because we have the ability to take the link and we can share it with our social media. We can share it with people that we talk to on the street. We can share the network with people that we talk to or whatever. It's just the fact that because of modern technology, we're able to really still reach people. And I just really appreciate that. This is very important because as times are changing, people need to know how they can not only make money, but they can also barter. We probably need to do a show on bartering. Because I think of bartering. I think of bartering ideas all the time. And we think that, bartering is so easy, but I really think that in order to barter, there's got to be a level of trust there. Because let's just say, for instance, I picked up a lady the other day in Uber and I was dropping her off to her job and she's a hair braider. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go there and get my hair done. But what if I could barter with her? Like, okay, you're paying Uber to go to and from work every day. What if I told you I'll pick you up? I'll pick you up and drop you off every day and you don't have to pay anybody. But what if you did my hair? So who is the first, who's the first to trust? Like, should she do my hair first? Or should I start taking her to and from work first? So I guess the fear factor would be, like we get afraid of each other, like we don't trust each other. Like I could fear that she won't braid my hair after I take her to and from work, or she could fear after she braids my hair that I won't take her to and from work. So it's like those things need to be talked about, because we really have this strange fear of trust in one another. And I'm not saying it's not justified. We've all been burnt in different situations, but, we have to take into account you're dealing with a brand new person here. It doesn't mean don't take the information, where you had to deal with somebody and something happened and just don't think of it ever again, because it could happen again. But just recognize that you're dealing with a brand new person, a brand new opportunity to get something, to get your need met and get their need met also. Yeah, I think we probably need to do a show about that, because, who's the first one to trust in the bartering situation?
Well, like sometimes I did a bartering situation. It turned out to be a really good deal, but I just had too much on my plate. I actually bartered with a guy for a house. I got my first residential piece of property was a house that I bartered with the guy with. He came into my resale shop, and he had bought a washer and dryer from me, and he needed delivered, but I didn't have a truck. He had a pickup truck. So I'm like, well, how about let me buy your pickup truck and I give you a line of credit in my store. And he didn't want to do that, but then he flipped on me and said, but I have something else that I really need to get rid of, and maybe you may be interested in it. And he gave me an address to a house. I went to go look at the house, and I took it on. I said, okay, well, you get a line of credit. So he came by, and the house had 1 year of taxes on it. It needed work. It was just by the airport. I was way in the south side at that time, and I really bit off more than what I could chew. But the point is, I gave him like $3,500. I bought the house for $3,500 worth of store credit, and after he got around $2,000, I never saw him again. He never came in. I had the house in my name. I wound up losing the property, but even still, it was the first deal. It was the first bartering deal that I done. Now, I approached the bartering deal simply off of a show that they had on cable. They got a barter reality show. Are you familiar with that?
No, I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a television. It's a reality show where they do nothing but barter. And the guy, he'll have a goal of what he wants to get. It's a really good show because he teaches you how to really barter.
Does it still come on?
I don't have cable, of course.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that show. Must have.
Yeah, but Google it. It might. You may be able to find it because you got the cable over there.
I know that Craigslist has a bartering section.
It does, but when you go into bartering, like that show inspired me. I went to Craigslist after I did that show. But once I saw that on that show, it stuck with my mind. It stuck in my brain. And soon as the guy had the truck, I'm like, well, my whole mission was to try to get it without spending cash. And it was a challenge that I put on myself.
Wait, hold on. As soon as the guy had the truck.
Well, so he had the pickup truck that he said that needed work, but he didn't want to sell it. I needed a pickup truck because we were at that point where he couldn't get the washer and dryer to the house. But he had a truck. I'm like, well, if you're not using the truck, then let me get the truck and I'll give you a line of credit. But then he flipped it and said, well, I got a house. Nevertheless, so that was the first thing. That was what inspired me to actually think of doing a deal like that, because I saw it on TV and I'm like, man, that's a great way. And actually, it's going to be, it was like, for me, that was like a survival tactic. Because, you know, the dollar is losing value all the time. So,
right, it is. Mm-hmm.
So how do you exist in a cashless society, and especially if you don't have anything put away or anything of value, you're going to have to barter at some point in time. So for me, that was like excellent training for getting prepared for when the dollar, if I'm around when the dollar collapses or there is a different change of means of commerce. So, I mean, but it's a great show. I'm sure somebody on here listening to the show has watched that show, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because those are the type of shows I normally gravitate towards, you know, Storage Wars. I forget if it's some bartering, but I'm sure if you look it up, you can find it on the internet, and it's probably got episodes on YouTube or whatever. But it was just a great show. This guy would start with something small and then get rid of it, trade for something bigger, trade again, and then wind up getting what he was looking for. Now, I don't know how much of that was actually Hollywood.
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook. Like somebody started with really small something and they ended up with a vehicle, which, I mean, I guess it's possible, but just like everything, that takes work. You got to be diligent with that thing. Like this ain't just some come up. No, you got to be diligently looking and seeking and messaging people and doing all these different things to find people that want to connect with you and want what you have so that you can, you know, it's basically like climbing a ladder. You climb higher. Okay, first I had this silver Susan B. Anthony, whatever. I mean, well, not Susan B. Anthony. Anybody can have one of those. But whatever, some kind of coin, special coin.
Right.
And then you go from the coin to 1922 World War whatever gun. Then you trade that and you just keep going up until you get exactly what you want. And see, that's the thing. You got to be ready to give up that thing that is worth more value to get what you want. You know, it's a system. It's definitely a system. One that I am, you know, I'm not too versed on, but I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I definitely understand it. But you know what? I think that we are good for this episode. But what I wanted to do was actually, I wanted to do a little bit of news. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, well, today it was a reminder for me to announce to the people that may be listening to this show that we sell laundry detergent in the 5-gallon buckets. We also wholesale laundry detergent to anywhere in the United States. We can have it shipped to you on a pallet. A pallet is 36 buckets. You wholesale cost is like $20 a bucket, $720 for a pallet, plus your we would need your zip code to determine how much your shipping is. These 5-gallon buckets of laundry detergent can sell from anywhere from $35 to $55 a bucket, depending upon where you live at, if there's anybody selling laundry detergent around you or not. That you would have to do your own homework on that. But laundry detergent is something that everybody that is listening to this show uses, whether it's organic or whether it's just commercial laundry detergent. Everybody cleans their clothes. Majority of people clean their clothes with just out of the store laundry detergent. That could be a great cost to your economy. Why not become a distributor, sell laundry detergent, something that you know that's going to constantly sell. You always have a repeat customer and make great money, okay? So if you're interested in selling laundry detergent, 4 times concentrate, all high-efficiency detergent, reach out to us. We are Blacks in Business at gmail.com. I am Brother Robert 11X. You can reach me there, or you can reach me on Facebook. However, my number is 314-745-9557. This is an excellent opportunity to create a customer base that's going to keep coming back to you. For those startup entrepreneurs, you always want a product that's going to keep the customer coming back to you. And how you do that, you sell laundry detergent, or you sell, like we also sell Dove soap. So this is a great, excellent opportunity. This one product can segue you into your customer's life by way of finding out what else they need. And when you find out what else they need, then you give us a call back and say, hey, how do I find these products that my customer are looking for? And we'll set up a consultation with you, and then that way we'll go off into a trade show conversation. So please contact us. We are blacksinbusiness@gmail.com, or reach out to me directly at 314-745-9557. That's 314-745-9557, or Robert, ELEVENXMINER on Facebook.
All right. Well, you all get your laundry detergent, 5-gallon buckets. I mean, it's, one of those things you fear, but if you invest a little over $700, you can get a pallet and be selling it. That's just, it's just like a no-brainer. What are you investing in? You're trying to invest in carrot bars, the stock market, Bitcoin, and all these other things. Why not invest in your people and get some laundry detergent? Why not invest in yourself and get laundry detergent? Why not use something or invest in something that you already use at your home? Because then you can have a great testimony of what it is that you're selling. So like you said, go ahead and reach out to them, 314-745-9557. Well, we wanted to kind of go over a little bit of news from Black Enterprise, which I guess would normally be done at the top of the hour, but we kind of do what we want. And we'll also post this in Blacks in Business Radio. I'm not going to go over every article like line by line, but, I know that here it's talking about keeping Martin Luther King's dream alive, because we know that this is the 50th anniversary of his death. And, honestly, I haven't really been able to grasp onto that, because it just really blows my mind how these people like to hype up Dr. Martin Luther King when they're the ones that killed him. And, when they cause a problem, they want to say, what would Dr. King do and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, that's crazy. That's an oxymoron. But, may he rest in peace, Dr. Martin Luther King. They also there's a JavaScript scholarship right now. This was April 4th, 2018. So again, we'll put this information in the Blacks in Business Radio. JavaScript, that sounds like something to do with technology. Don't run from technology, definitely learn it. Let's see here. Millennials make moves in Memphis 50 years after King's assassination. Young Black real estate investor teaches keys to success. There's a study, Black millennial entrepreneurs are building mobile apps for their businesses. Let's see, we're focused on building people, says new community college president. I don't know what that's about. Walmart awards $4 million to diversity causes and groups. Let's see, can't miss free small business webinar, how to make your first 500K in sales. And then it says, my mistake, says contract Zuckerberg about Cambridge Analytica. There was some kind of breach with the Facebook, but we don't care. We just keep right on using Facebook. We don't care about that breach that they had, do we? Nope, we don't. We don't even know there was a breach. But yeah, so listen to us, you guys, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're here on Black Talk Radio Network every Thursday at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Listen to our podcast. Just Google BIB, that's Blacks in Business Radio, and you can pull up our podcast and listen to any show that you want. Make sure you listen to Black Talk Radio Network, subscribe to BTRN, and also support blacktalkmediaproject.org. We are going to end the program. I thank you for Scotty and also Brother Robert for being on the program with me today. You all have a blessed rest of the week, and good night.